Hello and welcome to this CrowdProperty funding opportunity for the development site, which is land at Knoll Road, formerly a property called Hedges, Godalming in Surrey, GU7 2ER. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So this project is a site located on Knoll Road, Surrey, which is 1.3 miles from the town of Godalming and also benefits from the services provided from the nearby village of Farncombe. Godalming is a market town in Surrey, population of around about 21,800 people. The plot is approximately 0.207 acres with an existing bungalow and 2 double garages. Planning permission is in place to demolish the existing buildings and create 2 new builds. Planning has been granted by Waverley Borough Council and the 2 new builds will be formed of timber frame construction. The site was purchased by the borrowers in early 2017 and the RICS valuation of the property in its existing condition is £450,000, with the RICS completed development value, that's the gross development value, being £1.7 million for both properties. CrowdProperty has agreed to lend the borrower £650,000 in 3 raises. It's for a 15 months maximum loan term and first charge security is being offered on this particular project. So Godalming then, a small town situated in Surrey, that population being approximately 21,800. The site is situated near the larger towns of Guildford, just over 5 miles away, and accessible via the A3100, and Farnham, which is just over 10 miles away, and accessible via the A31 and A3. Godalming benefits from a train station and that provides half-hourly trains into London Waterloo Station. The town benefits from a primary school, there's a library, a museum and various restaurants and bars, and vehicle access to the site is directly from Knoll Road. The site totals 0.207 acres and the developers are set to demolish the existing property to make way for these 2 new builds. So the site, situated in Godalming, Surrey, has that detailed planning consent from Waverley Borough Council. Their reference numbers are WA/2018/0389 and APP/W/W/18/3200-840, where permission has been granted for the demolition of the existing property and the creation of 2 new builds. This loan is planned to commence on the 12th of April 2019 for that 15 months maximum loan term, and that first charge security is being offered to all investors on this particular project. Here's the location map. You can see the CrowdProperty flag just here in the town of Godalming, not too far from Guildford. Milford's just over here as well, Dorking just over to the right. So that's where Godalming is situated. A little bit more about the location. So the property located approximately 4 miles from the A3, which connects the property with central London and also Portsmouth. The property is located approximately 5 miles or so from the larger towns of Guildford and just over 10 miles away from Farnham. Godalming provides a Waitrose, there's Boots Chemist and a number of cafes and restaurants, including Costa Coffee and Pizza Express. The property is close proximity to Farncombe train station, that's about a mile away. Godalming train station is about a mile away too. The Charterhouse Arms, which is a restaurant and pub, around about half a mile away. The Leisure Centre of Godalming and Broadwater Park just over a mile away. Godalming Library is also just over a mile away. Moss Lane Primary School about 1.5 miles away, as is Godalming Museum, that's also 1.5 miles. And Heathrow Airport is about 30 miles away from this particular site. So the total site area is 0.207 acres and the total gross internal floor areas for both proposed properties is 3,310 square feet. This is how it's made up. So plot A, this is a 4-bedroom property, 2 en-suites and a bathroom. This property also has a cloakroom, a kitchen and dining room, plus a utility area, a living room and a study stroke playroom. The gross internal area being 1,860 square feet. Plot B is a 3-bedroom property, gross internal area of 1,450 square feet. It has 1 ensuite and a bathroom. The property also has a cloakroom, a living room, a kitchen stroke dining room, a utility room and a study. And both properties will have parking and associated gardens and will comprise of timber frame construction. Let me tell you a little bit more about that timber frame system. So both properties then are constructed from a timber frame system supplied by the UK-based company MBC Timber Frame. The benefits of modular build methods are speed. This build was structurally sound in 3 days with all floor and floor trusses and panels in place within a week. Accuracy is also important, manufactured in a factory to high precision. It's environmentally friendly. It's a sustainable construction material, in this case steel, which can be endlessly recycled, and the builds meet Code 5 of the Sustainable Homes Guidelines. In terms of research, modular builds are set to become the future of construction, with planning authorities and financial institutions pushing to support modular builds to reduce the UK housing supply deficits. So here's a computer generated image for you then of plot A. This is designed of course by the architect. They wanted to have sort of a chimney stack here as well, and you'll notice it's a curved design. Let me show you the internal design of that. So this is plot A, looking at the ground and the first floor plans. As you come in through the front door here, you've got a cloakroom on your right hand side, quite a large open space hallway here with the cloakroom here as well. Coming through then in, you've got a utility into a dining area and a kitchen with a study or playroom just off of there. And then you've got some little sliding doors. You might see them just there, which you can pull together or leave it open plan into the living room if you want to. Coming back then upstairs, then we'll bring you up here. Turning back on yourself is bedroom 2, which has an ensuite, double bedroom. Then coming out of that bedroom, you've got a family bathroom, bedrooms 3 and 4, both of them are doubles. Then that leads you in then to the master bedroom, which has an ensuite and quite a large open space area here as well. So that's the plot A. Here are the elevations. The elevations to the north, the south, the east, west and also street elevations. You see some of it is brick, some of it is zinc. There's also slate roof with some white render on this particular property. Quite a modern design. Let's move on then to plot B. Computer generated image there, a slightly different design, obviously next door to the previous plot that we looked at. Here is the floor plan here, so you come then into the large hallway with a toilet just off of that. There's a cloakroom here as well, and then into a study. And then you come through then into the kitchen dining area with access out into the gardens. Off of that is a pantry and into a utility room. Coming back out into the hallway, you can leave through into the living area, or indeed you've got open plan or sliding doors here, whichever you'd rather have, into the living room area. Coming then upstairs will take you up then here, which has then got bedroom 2, which is the double, a family bathroom in the middle, then onto your master bedroom, which has its ensuite, and then another bedroom, which is bedroom 3 on the other side of that ensuite area, just there. Here is the elevations, the north, south, east, west and street elevations. Again, grey render, white render, slate roof is also zinc being used and brickwork on that particular layout. At the moment, this is how the property looks. So on the left hand side there's a bungalow there that is going to be knocked down. That doesn't come up to modern standards, so it's being taken down, and then plots A and B are then going to be built on the rest of the space that you can see there in those photos. So the current market value, £650,000, verified by RICS. The estimated build cost is £650,000 as well, an estimator via quantity surveyor. The gross development value on completion is £1.7 million, as verified by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. That's made up of plot A, the 4-bedroom property, being £900,000, and plot B, the 3-bed property, is £800,000. So those two together makes the £1.7 million. £650,000 is the loan that's been agreed by CrowdProperty in 3 raises, with the first raise being for £300,000 and a day one release of £250,000 for purchasing the timber frame. The exit strategy, remember, is to sell both properties. So that loan facility of £650,000 is being raised in three phases. The first phase being £300,000. That's what we're talking about on this webinar. Initial monies will go towards purchasing the timber frames for both properties and the demolition of the existing property. £250,000 will be drawn day one, which is an initial loan to value of 38.5%. The loan to value at the project completion is 41.9%, including the rolled up interest. It's secured with a first charge against the property, paying 7.25% per annum interest to people investing in this particular project. The interest is going to be paid at the end of the project. Remember, the maximum loan term 15 months. The minimum loan term is 6 months, and it's anticipated the loan will start on the 12th of April 2019. So here's some background then of the borrowers. The borrowers are Will Marsh and William Roberts. The borrowers are completing the development under their company Happy Valley Developments Limited, the company registration number 105-68506, for which they're both directors. Will Marsh has been involved in property from a young age, engaging in his father's construction business. Will purchased his first property 3 years ago with the primary view of renovating the property, which was in bad condition with no central heating or works undertaken for 30 years. Since then, Will has engaged in a number of projects with William and has become a qualified domestic electrician. Will has also been working on a self-employed basis, managing a number of building projects, including a £500,000 renovation of a large detached property to smaller building works, including kitchen installations and small extensions. William Roberts has over 30 years experience in the property industry, with a current property portfolio valued at £10 million. William has undertaken more than 15 refurbishment and development projects to date, some of which he's developed to sell and some of which he's retained to rent out. Over the last 3 years, the borrowers have worked together on several projects, including the heavy refurbishment and extension of a 3-bedroom semi-detached house and the conversion of a bungalow into a 2-storey home. The relationship between Will Marsh and William Roberts, well, William is the uncle of Will Marsh's partner. The professional team, the architects involved are Nye Saunders. They are based in Godalming in Surrey. So Nye Saunders, they were formed in the 1970s following the merger of two companies and has extensive experience in the design of new buildings. The new build feature was created in Ashton, Surrey. The build is similarly structurally to the project in Godalming with timber frame construction and a 2-storey design. Another case study to show you, a past project that Will and William have in Pendragon. This was bought in 2015, originally a 3-bedroom 1930s semi-detached house in poor condition and required significant works to be undertaken. Will and William undertook this major structural work, replacement of the staircase and windows and an extension to the rear of the property to fit a new kitchen and dining room. The property also underwent a full rewire, plastering and plumbing. Bought for $413,000, they spent $100,000 on it. The gross development value is $550,000, and in fact that was finished in 2017. This is the property where Will Marsh currently lives. Another case study for you is a property they bought in 2016. It was originally a 2-bedroom 1950s bungalow. It was then converted into a high specification 2-storey 4-bedroom detached house. Bought for $425,000. Build cost $210,000 with a GDV of £715,000, and that project finished back in 2018. So CrowdProperty believes in responsible lending and borrowing. The amount of this loan is based on the project and the experience of the developers. The total that's been agreed to lend is £650,000 based on 3 tranche raises. The property is already owned and unencumbered. The initial day one draw is £250,000 of that initial £300,000 raise, creating a loan to value of 38.5% on the property value that RICS valued at £650,000. The outturn loan to value will be 41.9%, including the rolled up interest based on the RICS GDV of £1.7 million. The interest being paid to investors on this project is 7.25% per annum. and CrowdProperty will have the first charge to protect lenders in the event of a default. The loan term then is a maximum of 15 months, and the borrower's exit strategy is to sell both properties. The loan targeted to commence on the 12th of April 2019. Now, for this project, a £5,000 pledge limit is in place for the first 5 minutes to provide all of those who've taken the time to perform their due diligence a chance to participate, given the current demand for CrowdProperty projects. After 5 minutes past 10, pledges greater than £5,000 can be created, or existing pledges can be increased subject to availability. Additionally, CrowdProperty Auto Invest functionality can automatically pledge on your behalf at 10 o'clock in the morning, although the actual pledge on a project might be scaled back subject to demand, and therefore your Auto Invest pot may be spread across more loans than your original settings. So your next steps then, please, are to make sure that you understand the loan and carry out your own due diligence on this project and also on the developers. Then decide how much you would like to lend on this project. Go to crowdproperty.com and pledge on launch, which is Wednesday the 27th of March at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can preview it prior to this time, but the launch of this webinar for the first phase raise of £300,000 is Wednesday the 27th of March at 10 a.m. in the morning. And then CrowdProperty will conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks on people wanting to invest in this project, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your very own CrowdProperty secure account, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for watching this webinar. I hope you're able to help us fund this project. Phase 1 raise of £300,000 for the development site, which is land at Knoll Road, the property formerly known as Hedges. It's in Godalming, Surrey, GU7 2ER. My name is Andy Haynes. Thank you for watching this webinar.